All right, guys and girls, we in Gallatin today. Me and Miss J finishing up a little asphalt sealing today. Turned out pretty rock star. It's still drying down right now, but man, it looks so good. Looks really, really good. So all this was hand broomed off, not sprayed, all it's hand broomed. Looks really nice. Like I say, it's still drying down, but you know, it is what it is. When it finishes out, it'll be matte black. I mean, black, matte black. So, filled in all the cracks, all the patching, all that stuff. So, washed the house. This little lady here did a full package deal with us and washed the house, sealed the driveway, all that. But now, here's what I want to show you. This right here is, if you got a step, it's that's catching or very dangerous for older people to have on their sidewalk or around the patio or something like that. Raising concrete is, a great idea if you have the money for that. No more sidewalk she had from there to there. To have that raised, it would have been cheaper just to tear that out and re-pour. But I'm just like, okay, well, how about we think a little cheaper? So I said, let me do a transition. So we do this a lot. We do a lot of transition stuff to be able to take to where it takes it, we put a little bit of a brain finish on it so it puts traction. But also too, whenever elderly people, stuff like that, you got to think about that. And just to anybody, that has a trip factor, maybe somebody's, maybe got cerebral palsy or, just a multitude of things. Me, I have nerve damage in my back. So I have a little problem with a little kind of stepping up in my right leg a little bit. So I have kind of a fall factor myself too. So this is something that we do, and it's such a simple thing. It's cheap, and but it makes such a difference. It really does. It makes such a difference on just that one thing. Is just the possibility of, falling and breaking a hip, shoulder, leg, or whatever. But just make a simple ramp transition and get rid of that high step. I mean, it took us maybe, 30, 45 minutes by the time we got done with everything, wet it down and got the concrete in, and let it drop enough where we could put a little bit of a broom finish on it and all that stuff. So, just think about that. Little stuff around the house, you can always ask for your seal man or your washman or whatever. Most of us, we kind of know how to do a little bit of concrete work. I'm not a concrete man by no means, and I hope this, I hope this proves the deal. But, for what it's worth, we do little stuff like this, and we like this little lady here. She's getting pretty elderly. She's on a cane and stuff like that too. So just this little bit right here makes a huge difference in the life of your mom, dad. Anybody maybe has a child that's maybe a wheelchair or something like that. So and just in general yourself, think about that. If you got something that you're postponing or been putting off or something that you're looking at that just like, God, I've done tripped over that 5 or 6 times. Well, it's a real easy fix. I mean, seriously, it's a real easy fix. That might not be the prettiest in the world, but I'd much rather deal with a little something that's a little bit kind of off and not as pretty as the rest of it, but it would keep me from having potentially hundreds of thousands of dollars of medical bills and could shut you down. Especially some of you guys that's getting, in life, you're retired, you're coming around, and you're getting in the best parts of your life. One little step like that could absolutely shut you down of living your retirement and shut you down to where you're in a wheelchair. Think about that. I mean, that's real talk, what I'm telling anybody. You get on up in years. If you have this little bit of transition in your driveway or whatever, we do this all the time with our stuff. We do transition stuff like this all the time. So just remember, it's whether it's us or somebody, but it's good, or if you can do it yourself. But just take the time to fix little stuff like that on transition stuff and get rid of that high problem that you get, because that one problem that you keep postponing, it can be there that one time to remind you how you should have got it fixed. And then you can become, I'm not going to say a burden, but then again, you can become, responsible to somebody else because you can't take care of yourself anymore. And that is very happy. And we see it a lot. We see it happen with a lot of people, a whole lot of times, that they just wish they would have got stuff fixed. It ain't all the time, but hey, if we get 2 people out a year that says, hey, I wish I would have got that fixed years ago, it makes a huge difference, So it's just something to think about whenever you ask for, you want to do a wash and seal and all that stuff. Hey, I got a high place in my driveway, or I got a high place on my patio or sidewalk or whatever. Can we look at maybe getting that adjusted? And most of the time, it's a few dollars, just a few dollars. So, anyhow, so if you'd like to get a quote from Cerati Selling and Pressure Washing, we'd love to go through the change with you on it, okay? All right. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Have a good day. Bye-bye.